According to the ADD Resource Center, 7 is the average age a child is diagnosed with ADHD in the United States of America. But can it be predicted in toddlers, or babies even? From an early age, I noticed something was unconventional with my son. When he was a baby, I had to bounce him on an exercise ball to get him to sleep.
It's very common for parents to have this experience where they say, he's been a handful or she's been a handful from as early as I can remember.
Sarampote says children develop self-regulation skills at different stages in life.
We don't have a blood test. We don't have a brain scan that you could say, that child has ADHD. It's really around age 5 when that window starts narrowing of what we consider to be normal behavior.
Rita Olick, mom of 3 boys and 1 girl, said all 4 of her children, ages 26 to 7, have ADHD. She says her 7-year-olds were pretty typical toddlers. It wasn't until they reached kindergarten that she suspected they might have it too.
It took them longer to finish things. They didn't comprehend questions sometimes that were a little more complicated. They needed redirection.
Sarampote says school age is usually when ADHD gets diagnosed.
Kids are squirmy and fidgety anyway. We all can be, but particularly at those times when they need to have their kind of be in their seat, right?
Scoot your plate closer to you.
So can they stay there? Do they get up frequently? Do they run around the house?
They were fidgety, more so than just your normal fidget. Typical ADHD signs in school where they couldn't sit still and focus.
We think of 2 general clusters of symptoms with ADHD. One is inattentive, and then we have a second cluster of symptoms which are called hyperactivity and impulsivity. They often seem as if they're on a motor that doesn't stop. They can be quite talkative. These are the kids that usually act first, think later.
Olick says her twins fall into the combination subtype.
As for my son, his lack of focus is a little less prominent than his hyperactivity, but he still suffers from both aspects. And even though I believe his symptoms were there early on, Sarampote says there is currently no scientific evidence that supports this claim.
We caution people in terms of overinterpreting symptoms or signs at that very young age.
In the next 2 days, come back for parts 2 and 3 of News 13's coverage of ADHD Awareness Month, treatments and managing symptoms, and strengths and misunderstanding the disorder. In Panama City, Jessica Ayers, News 13.
Panhandle strong.